So welcome everyone. This is Shayna, Brandon, and RJ, and our other little screen there. And we are excited to talk to you guys tonight about video marketing and digital marketing and how you can do that from the comfort of your own home now, since we can't see you in person and you can't meet RJ and I in person and have coffee and chat about marketing, which is my favorite thing. But we are excited that you guys are all here.
Give it about a minute or two and then we'll get started. So everybody gets in here.
Oh, I saw in the chat. Hi, Taylor. Thanks for joining us. We are so excited that we can come to you guys virtually and offer any sort of advice that we have, pick our brains about how you can keep marketing even though you can't really get out there and hire anyone to do it for you. So yeah, we're excited to kind of pass on these little nuggets of DIY video and digital marketing. Perfect. Let me just make sure I've silenced all of my other devices, because
that's important. When
you're a video marketer, you have a laptop, 2 cell phones, an iPad, and everything else that you might need. All right. Well, it is officially 6:02. I think I'm going to get started. Are you good, RJ? You're all set on your end?
Yep, let's kick it off.
Perfect. All right. Well, once again, if you didn't hear my welcome, I wanted to thank you all for joining us for Show and Tell tonight, creating brand videos and launching effectively with digital marketing. So presenting tonight is Pixelab Studios, myself and Brandon, and also HBT Digital Consulting with RJ Hubert.
Hey, everybody.
One moment, get my clicker rolling here. All right, so here are our lovely faces and our contact information. So for those of you that don't know me, I am the co-owner and the production coordinator for Pixelab Studios.
I am also the co-owner and executive producer at Pixelab Studios.
And I'm RJ. I just work with Shayna and Brandon. They are one of our partners, and I do all the digital marketing stuff.
So we're excited to come to you guys tonight from the comfort of your home and chat about how you can get started with video marketing if you haven't already, how you can continue that practice even though you can't get out there and visit a studio or have a professional come to you, and then really how to get the most bang for your buck or the most bang for your time right now, because you're doing it yourself through digital marketing, making sure that your message is out there and it's reaching the right people. So I'm going to start at the very beginning. What is video marketing? And from a pre-production standpoint. So pre-production is just every consideration you need to think of before you start filming. So video marketing obviously is marketing your business through the use of videos, and it's a proven way to grow your business and increase your brand awareness, specifically through constant engaging with your customers. So there are several other types of marketing out there, even digital marketing. If you're doing Facebook or social media posts, if you're doing Google advertising, you can do print marketing, email campaigns, all of the above. But if you're not utilizing video marketing today in your business, you're missing out on a significant portion of your audience that wants to find you and interact with you. There are many different ways that you can use video throughout your company. As you can see here, one of the most popular is selling your products or services, introducing those to your audience. Another key thing is entertaining and engaging your audience. So it doesn't always have to be a serious, straightforward, here's exactly what I do and why you should hire me. You can entertain them, you can educate them, but ultimately you want to use these videos to expand your online reach, which is key right now, since that's a lot of how we're interacting with everyone is virtually online. We're not able to do that in-person networking, so now's the perfect time to watch this webinar and learn. Why is video effective, or maybe I should say more effective than other traditional types of advertising? Well, the main point is that we are very visual creatures. Vision is our most dominant sense. We transmit a lot of information through our brain, through the eyes. And an interesting study shows that 95% of people that watched a message in video retained that information days later, whereas only 10% that read it in text alone could retain that information. So not only is it easier to distribute your messaging, you're actually letting your audience digest it and retain it and really pull that from their memory stores later. It's also key to build and maintain relationships. So you're allowing your clients or your prospective clients or just a wider audience base to see you, see your product and service in action, get to know you and your brand and what you're really, what you stand for, what your mission is. Now, with that said, there's a lot of different types of content that you can put out there. So one of the biggest questions we get is, how do I even get started? What do I need to tell them? Beyond any other tip that we give you, it's important to keep your messaging simple. You want to create a short statement that tells them what you're going to tell them and then ends with what you want them to do. So you want to tell them this great new offer you have, but you also need to consider the ending with your call to action, what you want them to do once they've watched it. Call you, email you, etc. One of the most important things is creating trust. So you are giving a value add to your clients. It can be educational, it can be entertaining. A lot of times it's both, but ultimately you're building that trust between you and your audience. And this is going to be key for building loyal and lasting relationships. And we all know it's less expensive to, retain those clients rather than bringing in new clients all of the time. So once we have these lasting relationships, you're really saving yourself money in the long run. While it's not always necessary to write a script for your content, it's important to know how to begin that storytelling process with your message. So whether you're doing these 5 steps that I'm about to introduce just in an outline format, or you're doing a full script that you want to follow, it's just important to kind of have in your head what you want to say before the camera starts rolling. So the first thing, either way, yeah, you need to have it either way. The first step is your introduction. So you want to tell your audience what they can expect and entice them to continue watching. Today, our attention spans are so short, you really need to capture them within the first 5 to 6 seconds, or they're going to scroll on or they're going to click past your video and not watch it. So make sure that it's engaging right off the bat. The second part of setting your story is really explaining to your audience that you understand what they're experiencing, either a problem or a pain point they're having, and that you are here to provide relief to that problem. You then want to introduce your value proposition. So how are you going to change their life? How is your solution going to relieve or eliminate that pain point for them? And ultimately, you need to set up a hook. So we're not the only video marketers in the area. RJ is not the only digital marketing consultant in the area. We all have competition. So the hook is really important because you want to explain why what you are offering is so special and how it's setting you apart from your competition. And then finally, you're going to wrap it up with a call to action. So this is the action you want your viewer to take once they've completed. It could be send me an email, fill out my contact form. It could be give me a call and set up a time to chat. It could be as simple as download this free PDF of the steps to creating an effective video marketing campaign. Whatever your call to action is, it's key to have that in there because you want your audience to know what the next step is for them. So now you have the steps to writing your script, you have the basic idea of what your message is. How are you going to present it? What kind of video are you going to present to your audience? There are 5 main styles that we're going to cover here. These are the most popular, and we encounter nearly all of them in our day-to-day operation of our business. So those are docu-style, voiceover, typography, narrative, and demo reel. Docu-style is by far the most what am I trying to say here?
The most popular online.
Most popular.
Social media, especially.
Those of you that know me know that sometimes I just need to bring Brandon along to tell me the words that are in my head.
It's the only reason I'm here.
It's the only reason. And he's cute, so we bring him along. So docu-style is the most common that we use. It's an interview or a storytelling process. Your subject is on screen and we're filming them either answering questions or narrating that story for you. It is great to connect with your audience authentically this way. They get to really know you. They get to know what you stand for and what your brand's about. The only downside is that it's a really commonly used type. So it's sometimes hard to stand out from the crowd. And it's also a little difficult to get comfortable on camera. Anytime that we show up with all of our equipment and we start pressing record, people understandably get a little nervous. We don't particularly love the feeling either being in front of the camera. We're much more comfortable behind it. So feeling comfortable is key when you're doing this docu-style. The second one is voiceover, which is very similar to the docu-style in that you're telling a story with talent, but this talent isn't on screen. So what you're going to do here is have that script, you're going to record it through a professionally recorded audio source, and then you overlay that on top of your footage. So this is great if your talent isn't, you know, in the same city as you and you need to get that interview or that story recorded. It's great for evoking emotion, and you really have control over what emotion you want your audience to feel. The only consideration that you need to really choose carefully is what type of voice or style or age range demographic is my voiceover artist. It all plays a key part into ensuring that you're reaching your audience where they are. The third is typography. So this is a great way to really convey simple messages. You're using on-screen animated text to tell your story rather than a person or a voiceover. The challenging part here is not so much how you film your footage, it's rather the skill of your graphic designer, because everyone can create a PowerPoint like we've done and have screen on text, but the animation of that on-screen text is key to really delivering your message emotionally. The next one is narrative. So narratives are probably the most complex to pull off, especially in a larger scale. You're relying on a cast of characters and a predetermined script to act out your story and deliver your message. It is great for engaging your audience. It's great for virtual sharing. A lot of viral videos that you see online are narrative in nature, but it can be definitely harder to pull all of those pieces together to deliver. And finally, our demo reels. So these are also known as highlight reels or sizzle reels. They're short video clips of footage that you've gathered from either an event or a product demo or a service demo that you've done, and you edit it together quickly in a stylized and upbeat manner to really just grab people's attentions and showcase the best parts of it. It's really not good for complex messages. You really don't have that option to deliver a complex story, but if you're here to highlight the event you just went to, demo or highlight or sizzle reels are a great way to do that. So now you have all the basics of pre-production that you need to think about before you hit record. I'm going to hand it over to Brandon to discuss all the things that you need to do when you're filming and when you're editing.
Yeah, so like she said, now we're going to get into the production phase of things, so actually recording, and then we're going to get into what types of programs you can use to edit the footage together and bring all the elements together. So, and just so you know, beforehand, we wrote this in a way where obviously everyone out there has a cell phone that can capture video, so everything that we're going to talk about can be achieved with tools that you already own. Or you can invest a little bit of money into your kit to get a little better quality. So obviously, before you get started, you're going to want to check the battery level and your storage capacity. So plug your device into a wall outlet or a battery backup if you have one. Go into your settings and delete unused apps, photos, and videos to ensure that you have enough space. Because obviously you don't want to run out halfway through and have to restart. That is a problem that we maybe run into before.
Never, no.
You also want to enable your phone's do not disturb. So this is another setting in your settings that you can go and turn on. So this will help to avoid any unnecessary distractions while you're filming, which obviously can be cell phone calls or text messages or just app reminders. Just keep those distractions to a minimum while you're recording. Another thing is to, if possible, avoid your phone's auto settings. Your phone can make adjustments on its own fairly well, but there are some points where it gets confused and it's constantly making adjustments. So when you open up your camera app on your phone, enable AE/AF lock on your device. You do this at least on your iPhone by holding your finger down on the subject until the words AE/AF lock appear, which will ensure that your device won't make any unnecessary exposure or focus adjustments while you're filming, which can be distracting if someone's watching. So now we're going to move into probably the most important aspect of capturing video. It's probably not something that anyone thinks about beforehand.
Yeah, it's actually not the video process at all.
Yeah, so capturing great quality audio is probably more important than capturing great quality video. I'm sure you've watched a video before where the audio was terrible. There was people screaming in the background. And you click away immediately just because you can't stand it. Whereas if you're watching maybe like a grainy, dark video, you can stick with that as long as the audio is good. So we want to make sure that we're going to capture great audio before we hit record. So there are a few different ways to do this. We recommend using either a lavalier or a shotgun microphone that's plugged directly into your mobile device, or if you have an external audio recorder, even better. And we're going to show you what those are now. So a lavalier, you may have seen this on any talk show or that kind of thing. It's a small microphone that clips right below your subject's collar and can either be wired or wireless. That's what we're wearing right now. So these can be placed very close to the subject, which is super important to capturing great quality audio. If you just leave it up to the microphone that is in your device, it's not going to sound nearly as well because it's normally placed farther away from you than if you put a microphone right up to somebody's mouth. However, it will most likely be seen by the viewer, and if you don't hide the wire or place the microphone correctly, it can be distracting. So next up is a shotgun microphone. So these can be placed atop your device, or if you have a more professional setup, just out of frame and pointed at your subject. So these are great if you're in a noisy environment because they mainly pick up whatever is directly in front of them. So if there's noise off to either side of you, the microphone will just capture what's in front of it and basically cut out everything else. But the downside is placing it correctly can be challenging, obviously, because you need it to be pointed directly at where the audio source is coming, which is your mouth. So if you're doing it, if it's just a one-man band setup, that's a little bit harder to do other than just clipping a lapel mic onto you. So just some considerations to think about. And before you begin rolling, remove noisy jewelry, eliminate noises such as air conditioners and refrigerators if they're nearby. First off, choose a location that is quiet and secluded. Make sure there aren't people around.
Or cats.
Yes, or cats. And choose a location with as little echo as possible. So if you go into a room and clap and you hear an echo, that's typically not a great space to film your video. The audio won't sound as nice because the audio is just bouncing around that room. So pick a room that has carpeting or large furniture that can soak up that noise so that it's not bouncing around. And finally, be sure to test your audio. So record a few seconds of video before you record your actual video and play it back with a good pair of headphones just to see how it sounds, if the room sounds good, if there's any distracting noises that you need to take care of. If your mic's not placed properly, it'll save you a lot of headaches later on if you just go ahead and test it beforehand. So now we're going to get into framing your shot. So for the most part, you're probably going to want to flip your camera horizontally. There are vertical videos popular on something like Instagram stories or Facebook stories where horizontal video is, very popular. But typically, if you're making a promotional video or filming an interview or something, you're going to want to have your camera be horizontal. And also use a tripod. It doesn't have to be super high quality, but you want to consider something to hold your device. And if you're unable to secure a tripod, use a stack of books, a windowsill, whatever, in order to hold your phone steady and elevate it so that you're filming at eye level. You don't want to have the camera down low. You don't want to have it up high. Something that's kind of right at eye level is the best look for you and whoever your subject is. And also avoid zooming. So it's never a great idea to do the pinch and zoom on your lens, on your camera phone. So if you're going to do that, either step closer to your subject or switch to a different lens. Many cameras that are out there today have multiple lenses attached to their phones. So just with the touch of a button, zoom in, zoom out, or just physically move yourself closer to your subject. Now we're going to talk about lighting. So the 3-point lighting setup is probably the most common, especially for interviews or vlog types of content. You have 3 lights around your subject. Your key light is obviously your most powerful light, and it's normally placed at a 45-degree angle from your subject. And we can actually show you, this is our key light right now. So it pushes out the most amount of light out of any of the 3 and is the light that you normally place first. Next up is your fill light. Shayna's gonna flick on and off. So your fill light fills in the shadows that your key light creates. And it just adds, you don't want to get rid of shadows completely. It adds dimension to your subject. And finally, you have a backlight, which is behind you. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. And that typically separates you from the background. So in this case, we have a green screen behind us, so it's not as obvious. But if you were shooting in a space with a nice background, the light from the backlight will help separate you from the background. So a few lighting tips to keep in mind. If you're not able to invest in professional lighting equipment, you can use items around your home or office to get similar results. Use something like lights, use the sun as your key light, place lamps around your subject to mimic the 3-point lighting setup. Also, avoid using the sun as a backlight indoors, especially. I've seen a lot of people, they obviously understand that there's a lot of light outside.
So I should stand in front of the window and have the sun behind me, which is great for your room, but not good for lighting your face.
Yeah, so it's kind of silhouettes you, it makes you dark. The camera is mostly adjusting for the outside light because it's so bright. So instead, just flip around, let the sunlight be your key light, and utilize less intense sources for your fill and backlight. And you don't have to use 3 lights. Oftentimes we just use 2 and maybe bounce light off from some other source, but you know, use what you got. If you only have 1 light, you know, you can make that work as well. But and my last tip is avoid filming with overhead lights, as it causes unflattering shadows on your subject's face. Normally, if they're on, you get shadows underneath your eyes, which look very strange and unflattering. We don't want
that. I have enough problems with that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, so use your lights, turn off overhead lights, and follow the 3-point lighting rule. All right, now we're going to get into a little bit about post-production. Mainly this is, you know, the different types of apps that we recommend based on your skill level. So we're going to start off with apps, actually applications on your mobile device. These can be downloaded to your mobile device, which is a convenient way to quickly begin the editing process. But the experience is typically limited when compared to dedicated desktop programs. But I mean, if you're just starting out, this might be the perfect way for you to start working with the footage directly after you finish shooting it. So a few recommendations that we would give is Adobe Premiere Rush CC. It has a subscription, but it's available for iOS and Android. There's also iMovie and LumaFusion for iOS, which are, I guess, iMovie is free, LumaFusion is paid, and then 2 options for Android, Filmora Go and KineMaster Pro, which are free and paid respectively. So next up is free basic video editing programs. So these are desktop programs that you install on your Mac or PC. These programs are best for beginners who want additional features and flexibility. That includes iMovie for Mac and Movie Maker for Windows. Next up is free professional video editing programs. So if you want access to even more professional features without the price tag, these options are best. So if you start working with iMovie and you get comfortable with that and you want to move up to something a little more professional, we recommend DaVinci Resolve Lightworks, and HitFilm Express, which are all available for Mac and Windows and are obviously free. Last but not least, here are some paid promotional or paid professional video editing programs. I would only recommend this for, the true professional. These are pricey. Yes, we have subscriptions to some of these and they're pricey, but they give us all the features that we need to create professional videos. So that would be Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, and Avid. Final Cut Pro is probably the best one to get into if you want to step up from the previous apps, but yeah, only get involved with these if you feel more comfortable with the previous examples. All right, so that covers production and post-production from our end. Just want to let you know, we just launched a video e-course called The Beginner's Guide to Marketing Your Business with Video. So if you found this info useful, definitely sign up.
You can learn a lot more in-depth things than what we've covered. So a lot more pre-production considerations, how to really set up your scene, your backlighting, your key lights, how to get all of the guides that show you how to set things up. We're offering a special 25% off right now because we've just launched and we wanted to offer that directly to you guys. Definitely check out bit.ly/webinar ecourse. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And in the next slide, you can find how to get in touch with us directly if you have any further questions. We're always down. I'd always say I'm always down for coffee and brainstorming, but now we're going to have coffee and Zoom and brainstorming. So just feel free to get in touch with us and follow us on social. And with that,
hand it off to RJ. And now he'll talk about the second phase of things where now that you have the video created, now you're going to want to distribute it to an audience and, get some eyeballs on it.
Thank you, Brandon and Shayna. You guys killed it. And just so you know, you don't need any lighting on those beautiful faces of yours.
Thank you for that.
We'll go dark.
Okay. So I'm switching over to my presentation here.
All right.
Can everybody see it? Can you guys see it?
We can see it.
Okay, great. So as Brandon and Shayna mentioned earlier, my name is RJ Huberts, and I run a digital marketing company in Pittsburgh. I started it early last year, and it's really focused on lead generation and direct response marketing, all online. So we want people to call, visit, fill out a lead form, or make a purchase online using digital marketing tactics. So I'm going to walk you through the ways that you can distribute the video that you now have, that you now created. This is going to be very high level. Feel free to ask questions for Shayna, Brandon, or I in the webinar. We'll get to that at the end. And let's kick it off. Just so you know, I do what I do because we want businesses to succeed in this crowded marketplace. Shayna mentioned it earlier. There's a lot of competition. So how can we stand out? Today, I'm going to focus on three main topics. Organic marketing, AKA free marketing. You can't beat that. Where to post, some really cool ideas that you may want to try, extending the organic reach, and then going live. Then we'll look at paid marketing, which between us, the webinar people, you need to do some paid marketing. You can set the budgets, but we'll talk about Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube. And then we'll talk about lead generation and tracking. You want to know what's the best channel for you? Well, you better start tracking where your leads and your clicks are coming from. Remember, who is your video for? Is it for grandmas? Make sure you're shooting the right content. Or is it for dog lovers? Maybe you have some dogs running around. You want the right video for the right audience. I'd always recommend adding captions. Always have a call to action. Shayna mentioned this earlier. Why should someone call you? Is it a special deal, a discount? Is it your grandma's brownies that you're now selling? Make sure there's a reason for them to call or visit or click. And always brand it. Put your logo in there, URL, and contact details. So the first section, the organic. Let's just start right off the top on YouTube. First, you'll want to create a channel. Then you can upload your videos. You'll see the little yellow box on the right. Just create video. You can upload it. Give it a title that has relevant keywords in there. For example, this is on a webinar video that actually Brandon and Shannon created for me. It's the 4 secrets to holding a successful webinar. The title is very important. You don't want to put one word. You want to be very transparent about what it is. Same with the description. I've seen videos with no description, with one word, with, you know, terrible language and everything. Just make it clear, concise, describe what they're going to watch, and then have a final URL that people can visit. Also, tags, very important. This is how people will find your video on YouTube and on Google when they're searching for digital marketing or how to have a webinar. You just want the relevant tags in there, and that will help with SEO and search results. You also want to share your video on your website. For example, this is a blog post I did, and I embedded the YouTube video in there. So that's just a great way to, you know, share your video on your website. Remember to use meta tags. That's the description and keywords that you use for your site, and specifically maybe this page. Use the relevant keywords that, you know, you're targeting. For example, if you sell bicycles, talk about bicycles in there. Don't just post the video without any information, because search engines won't pick you up. That will help with your SEO. Obviously, Facebook. Who likes Facebook? Raise your hand. Okay, great. You can upload your video, obviously, on your own personal page or your company page. The title is very important as well. Don't just put dogs. That's very basic. What is the dog doing? Dog chews a toy and it's amazing. You have to watch. I would click on that video. Make sure you have a great description and, you know, use relevant tags as well. Now, right down here, you're going to see this green box. It says subtitles and captions. Use it. Facebook is really cool and has this AR or, you know, AI system where it just basically can detect all of the, you know, your captions for you. You can just make minor edits. It's very easy to use. Facebook's great too because you can schedule a premiere. Maybe you have this really great video that you want to premiere on X day at X time. You can schedule it. You can share now. You also want to think about Facebook and Instagram stories. More and more people are watching these stories. I know on Instagram personally, I don't leave the Instagram stories. The stories is my favorite part personally. So I highly recommend you utilize those things because there's a really cool ways that you can use Instagram. You can post your video first. If you just post in your feed, it can be 3 to 60 seconds long. I recommend using relevant hashtags because that will show up in those categories. And if someone's searching, for example, this is a 5K race, they will see that brand in that post. And tag your friends in there. Tag your friends, tag companies, you know, DM them, ask them, hey, would you mind sharing this post? And I'm sure they would because they love you, your friends, and that will help spread it. Also, you can check out IGTV for posting videos up to 60 minutes long. This is one's from Gary Vee. I don't know if we have any Gary Vee lovers out there. You can check out, he does have captions in his video. That isn't native to Instagram. Instagram won't just add captions. So you got to work with somebody like Brandon and Shayna to add, you know, captions to your video. You also want to post on LinkedIn. Post it on your personal, post it on your business page. It's super simple. Click that icon, the video icon, and give it a great description. Use hashtags, tag people, and post it. What I like about sharing YouTube videos on LinkedIn rather than Facebook. So on Facebook, if you share a YouTube link, it clicks out of Facebook to YouTube. So it's a disruptive step. Facebook doesn't like you to post YouTube videos because they want all traffic to stay on their channel. So LinkedIn's different though. LinkedIn, you can post a URL for a YouTube video, and boom, you can watch it right in the feed. So it's great. So here's some new ideas that you may want to think about when sharing your video. Yelp. Yelp, you would think is just for restaurants, right? No. Any services that you have. If you have a roofing company, if you're a painter, if you're a digital marketing guy like me, you can have a listing for free. That's your logo, that's your location, that's a description, that's a URL. That's just another way that a search engine can find you and other people can find you. You can post your video on there, but as you can see, it is a $2 per day average upcharge, which may be okay with you. Have you ever thought about Reddit? Do we have any Reddit lovers out there? Me, I love Reddit, great. It's like the world's biggest message board. For example, if you have this killer video about doggos, maybe you sell specialty dog clothing. I have 2 dogs, I would buy it. If you have a cool video that Brandon and Shayna produced, throw it up on Reddit, give it a cool title, boom, you have free traffic watching your video, knowing who you are, clicking to your website. It's just another way to get your message out there for free. Pinterest. Pinterest is only for shopping and working out, right? And just cool images. No, I mean, advertise your business on there. You know, you can be discreet. These are all blogs from HBT, but the one on the left, the Whopper fail, you may never know that was from HBT. So if you have a video, you can create a thumbnail, image, a pin, create it, make it really cool, work with Pixelab, make your own image, throw it up there. It could link to your video. So it's just another way to get some free traffic. Okay, if you're a business owner, please tell me you have a Google My Business listing. 1, it's free. 2, it's hyper-local. 3, so easy to create. For example, I work out of my home office. I don't want people to know where I live. You don't have to put your address in there. You can just put a generic Pittsburgh zip code and it will pull up on the local listing. You can have URL information, you can put business information, your logo. On the right there, you can post updates. So I posted my webinar video that Pixelab Studios created. It's great because if people are searching for digital marketing, oh, HBT's there, boop, click on it. Oh, here's a cool video, boom. It's free. After this call, if you don't have a Google My Business listing, go enter your information. Extending the reach. Okay, this is free organic traffic. Tag your friends in posts. Tag businesses in your post. Share in relevant groups. Here's a group here, Pittsburgh, PA, quarantine, small business takeout and delivery. I'd love some delivery right now, I'll tell you that. Okay. Ask your friends, family, and colleagues and customers to share the content. So here's an example. This is the Great Gay 5K. It's a St. Petersburg 5K. So in the post, we were giving away free race entries. Who doesn't love free race entries? Everyone does. But they had to tag a friend and they had to share the post. That just organically spreads this content, this message. You did not have to pay 1 cent for this and people were exposed. So this is an image, but you can do that with a video and do giveaways and promotions. Oh, go live. Definitely do this. I'm terrible at it personally, but I recommend you do it because once you hit go live, your video jumps to the top of the newsfeed or right on Instagram right away and people are notified, oh, this person is going live. People watch it, people love it. I recommend you use it. Okay, now let's talk about paid marketing. Like I said before, I think you need to do this. Yes, you're spending money, but you'll be reaching your target audience. So anybody can do this. I'm going to walk you through it. This is super high level. If you want the nitty gritty, hit me up. I'll walk you through it. Okay, you're going to go to Ads Manager. You're going to click that. You're going to click Create New Campaign. And this is just the high level, what you're going to do with your campaign for your marketing objective. Do you want just general brand awareness for that specialty dog clothing that you created? Do you want just people to know about it? Or do you want traffic? Do you want people to click on it, go to your website, maybe make a purchase. Great, we can do that. You pick the right objective and it can happen. On the left side, you will see select your budgeting and scheduling. So what's cool about the budget, you can pick a daily budget or a lifetime budget. You may be like, but RJ, I only have $30 to spend for these dog clothing ads. That's fine. You pick a lifetime budget, $30. And what's really cool is right below that, you'll see ad scheduling. Maybe your target audience is asleep from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. You can just schedule your ads to run during the day. You pick the schedule. Okay, on the right side is just an example. I wanted to show a webinar ad to the US, age 32 to 44, people who were small business owners, CEO, managing directors, and high income. You can choose exactly who's going to see your ad. And this is just a small, target. You can pick anything. You can pick interest. Oh, my dog, lovers, I love PetSmart. You can pick people who only like PetSmart. That's pretty cool. And then you will build the ad. So you can do pictures, you can do videos, you'll write your primary text, you'll write a headline, you give a great description, a call to action. The button that you see, that learn more, you can change to shop now, register. There's 20 different options. Put your URL in there, boom, it's done. The average cost per click is about $1.72. That may be a lot to you, that may not be a lot. But when you're building your digital marketing campaigns, you need to think about, if I bring 100 people to your website, that using this average cost per click, that's $100.72. How many people will actually convert to a lead or a sale? Is it 10%? Is it 10 people that visit? Is it 1%? And maybe it's okay if you only have 1%, making a purchase for $100. Maybe it works out in your favor. Maybe you sell a $5,000 specialty item for your dog. No. LinkedIn. Who likes LinkedIn? I do. You know why? Because my target audience is on LinkedIn, business owners. So if you are looking for the business demographic, you should probably invest some money in LinkedIn. Here's how you do it. At the upper right corner, you hit select work and advertise, and then you will create your campaign. Give it a budget, a start date, and then you're gonna build out your audience. It's almost like Facebook, but it's a little different because you can pick job seniorities. For example, this one here, I only wanted to hit the director, the manager, and the owner. You pick the age, you can pick marketing, your functions, interests. If you want people, maybe you want to target people that have been on the job for a few years and it can make a really educated decision on your ad. Or you pick somebody who's brand new. Maybe they need HR training, of course, I'm not sure. But then you build the ad. One thing to note, your LinkedIn ads are more expensive. As you can see, it's almost 5 times more expensive than Facebook. But you're reaching, a different audience. You can pick by company, which you really can't on, Facebook. So the targeting is a little bit different. And then there's YouTube ads. YouTube ads are probably one of my favorite, only because I'm seeing very cheap YouTube views. I'm seeing views as low as 5 to 7 cents a view. That is nothing when you can target your exact target audience with a specific message at a specific time. So there's a ton of different YouTube ads. You've probably seen your skippable video ads when you're watching dog videos and boom, an ad pops up. If you're like me, you hit skip after 5 seconds. You don't get charged if somebody hits skip. You're only charged if somebody watches 50% of your video or clicks it. So I don't care if somebody skips my ad. I don't care. I'll pay 5 cents all day if somebody watch my ads. Bumper ads are really cool. They start at the beginning, boom, 6 seconds, can capture somebody's attention, and then some others. One thing to note, if you want to advertise on YouTube, you have to create a Google Ads account. So first step, upload to YouTube. Step 2, go to Google Ads, and basically you'll build it through campaigns, new campaign, and then you're going to select a goal. So do you want leads, sales, traffic, brand awareness? It's all optimized on Google's back end to try to deliver what you're seeking. Sometimes you have to play around with it. That's why you may want to work with a digital marketing professional, because they'll be checking out the performance of your ad and potentially changing the goal if you're not seeing the results that you need. Then you'll click video, and you basically link the YouTube video. What's great about YouTube, so demographics, keywords, and placements. So placements is interesting because maybe I love Beyonce and I only want to target Beyonce channels. That's fine. You can do that. Topics. Maybe it's 90s hip hop. I only want to target 90s hip hop because I'm selling Nike sneakers. Select that topic. Keywords. People are searching for how to fix my garage door. Maybe you sell that service. You can target that keyword search. Same with demographics. Age. I'm not going to target an 18 to 24-year-old with a garage door ad. It doesn't make sense. They probably don't have any garage doors. But maybe a 40-year-old does. Any household income. Maybe I want to target high-income people because they're more likely to buy. So the YouTube is great. I love it. And then I'll go over lead gen and tracking. This is just super high level. You want to know where people are clicking, how they're watching your media. So you basically, this is in Google Analytics. Hit me up if you need any help with this. Basically, you click settings in the bottom, then goals, then new goal, and then a new goal setup. So what do you want to track? Do you want to track somebody filling out a lead form, somebody pressing play on a video, somebody creating an account? Basically, it tracks by the URL. So say I wanted to track a thank you page because a form submission goes to a thank you page. I would put the thank you page in there, and then it would track anytime somebody sees that thank you page and where it came from. Pixels. Do not be afraid of pixels. Pixels are your friends. Pixels, for those that don't know, basically it's for remarketing. Remarketing is you want to stay engaged and in front of people that visited your website. So I get website traffic and nobody fills out my form. Why don't you fill out my form? But you're on my website. Come on. Well, now I know who came to my form or site because I have a pixel, and now I can track them with a display ad when they visit other sites. Yes, it's creepy. Yes, it works because you can put cool deals in there, discounts. I recommend it. You want to convert old traffic that visits your sites. Oh, hey, Shayna, I got you up on here again. You want to test ads. Testing is super important. Test your video links. It's also called like A/B testing. Test ad A, test ad B. Test placements, test creative. So this creative had a very long description, and then we had a very short description. Which ones perform best? You got to check it out after you run it. And keep in mind, when you're doing your ads, your videos, you're uploading, people watch it without sound now, especially on Facebook. So make sure your captioning is right and on point. If you publish your video, the captions aren't there, you can go back and edit it, so don't freak out. Special offer for my friends. Here is a free 60-minute marketing strategy session. Go to this link, calendly.com/HBT digital. We can talk anything digital marketing. Happy to, you can pick my brain. Happy to offer advice, suggestions. We can talk it through. Please follow me on social, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. It's at HBT Digital Consulting. On Twitter, it's RJ@HBT. And finally, does anybody have any questions for Brandon, Shayna, or I?
Now's the chance. You can pick our brain. You can ask us your biggest, hurdle right now with digital marketing or creating video? Any of the above. You can ask if our cats have stopped crying. They have. They've probably fallen asleep.
That's been good.
Okay, so RJ, I have a question for you. Just between us and the webinar people, RJ is handling a lot of our digital marketing because I don't know how, and Brandon's busy with all the other things that I make him do. So RJ is on top of it. How would you recommend getting started with A/B testing just in the very gate? Like, would you test a video with two different titles, or would you suggest putting two completely different videos up there and seeing which one performs better?
Well, thanks for the shout out, Shayna. I would use the same creative, maybe the same picture or the same video, and I would change the either the description or the headline and test that, see which one really catches somebody's attention.
Okay, so you want to keep most of it the same, just change one small thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of see, okay, well, this one performed better, then next time we'll move forward with that.
Yeah, or what I'll do is I'll create two ads. I'll create a picture ad and then a video ad, and I'll test that as well to see which cheaper, which drives more clicks, and which performs better. Because, for example, a Facebook video ad may perform better than a picture. So you don't know until you try it. So I would suggest splitting your budget.
Okay. No, thank you.
We got a couple questions. I think this one's for Shayna and Brandon. Are there certain colors or clothing designs that are better when filming?
So typically you want to obviously stand out from your background. So something that is, like if we have a white background, we don't want to be in all white clothing. White in general is a bad idea because it reflects light. So if you have very powerful lights, or you're using the sun, the white from the clothing is going to blow out the image on your cell phone. So that's never a good idea. Also, clothing with very thin lines isn't good. It makes a strange appearance on camera where your shirt is moving. It's all based on the sensor inside your camera. So typically whenever, we give people suggestions, it's, wear something that will make you stand out from the background, avoid white, all white, and don't wear clothes with, thin pinstripes on them.
And just for fun, I'm going to show you what our background really looks like. So if we say we're coming to film you on a green screen, please don't wear that color green.
Yeah.
Or you are now your background. You'd be surprised how many times that happens. So just wanted to throw that out there for fun. I have a question here from Angela. Can you lay out a little bit about who is watching your videos? Do the audiences tend to skew older, younger? Does it depend on the platform? I'm going to let you handle that, RJ, just kind of talking about how First of all, I want to say you should know kind of who your audience is, who you're targeting first when you're creating any kind of content, whether it's all text, a photo, or a video. You want to know who in general is going to be receiving that.
So to be completely blunt, everybody watches video now. It's the thing to do. You have to have a video presence. As far as who's watching my video, say I post a video on my company page, I don't necessarily know who's watching it unless they're commenting. On ads, you know the target audience that you're targeting, but you don't know specifically the person. So I see one from Taylor. I just started my business. How should I think about digital marketing? You need to decide what your goal is. Is your goal to get people to your website? Do you want them to call you? And then you want to think about, where you want to market. Where's your target audience? For example, if you're business to business, you might want to think about LinkedIn ads. If you're marketing, a restaurant locally or a local business, I highly suggest Facebook because Facebook is really great at that. So.
I think this question is specifically geared toward you, and I feel for this question because everyone, I think, has a small marketing budget at this time. Everyone's hemorrhaging funds, and that's okay because we're just surviving right now. But if you do have just a small budget, what would give you the most bang for your marketing buck in the next month or so?
Okay, so it really depends on your goal. Let's just talk about brand awareness. Say I'm a new company. Maybe I'm 1 to 2 years in, not many people really know about me. I would do a brand awareness video on YouTube because your budget is going to go really far, being the views are so cheap. So if I had a limited budget, I would get my ad up on YouTube. I would start testing it like that.
Perfect.
That's the most bang for your buck. If you have some more money to spend, I would definitely put it on, Facebook as well. Facebook is a great place because you're targeting the exact person that you want to find.
And I think the comment you made earlier about LinkedIn advertising, it is a great platform to advertise on, especially if you're working B2B and you're looking to target, say, bless you, say RJ and I and Brandon, we're all really professional services that we offer. So we're looking for small, medium, large-sized businesses. The only problem is you're really targeting those businesses on LinkedIn. So it's a great place to be. Maybe not right now. Maybe when all of our funding comes back and we're making money again. But yeah, so you're right. It just depends on your goal.
Shane, I see one here for you specifically from Gina. What would be the best starting video for my business?
So just in case you guys don't already know Gina makes these gorgeous hand-painted individual silk scarves. And ties and other silk products, but they're beautiful. And I first met Gina when she had a booth and she was selling at an event that I went to. And so I think, Gina, for you, I think the best video would almost be kind of like a hybrid docu-style mashup. So I think for you, maybe if you're speaking to the camera a little bit, tell them who you are, your background, why you got into this, and then almost like a sizzle reel, showcase those awesome photos that you just got done for your new website. Piece those together. If you have any time, you can film a little bit of your painting process just to give people an idea of who you are, how you create things, and how everything is individualized. Because I think that's key for your business is there's no duplicates. You're not screen printing things here, you're hand painting them. So I think anything that really points out the fact that you are doing unique work and that you stand out from your competition that way. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, and I just say,
ahead,
similar to what RJ said about, you need to know who your target is and who you're going to go after. You need to know the same thing before you actually create the video because there are many types of videos. And those types of videos relate better to certain people or people in certain stage of the buyer's journey. If they don't know about you yet, show them a video that tells them about yourself or is able to solve their problem. So it all depends on what your goal is in the end. And then, you can match that with the type of video that you need to create.
All right, guys, I think we're right at 1 hour. So you ready to say goodbye?
No, we're all alone here. I need other humans to talk to. But I understand we're all busy. While you were talking, RJ, I ordered permanis. So
glad I captured your attention.
You said I want takeout. I'm like, man, I do want takeout. So it was so good seeing you and seeing everyone here. I'm so glad you guys could all join us.
Yes, thank you.
And I hope what we said was helpful. We're just 3 people, hanging out in our houses, not able to see our clients, but this was our effort to really get out there and talk to you guys and offer any little bit of advice that we can right now to get you through this strange time we're all in.
That's right. All right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Alrighty. Bye.